In today's show, Bitcoin maintains $42,000 as Monero hits a 3-month high after an 8% spike. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest technical analysis. And as BTC Fuel shares here, Bitcoin 2 weekly is very bullish. In Glassnode Analytics shares, Bitcoin is trading at a liquid range of $42,000 to $45,000. Low volume over the weekend can cause abrupt price swings. Bitcoin risk signal at high level threshold in crypto edge shares. Bitcoin, as long as it doesn't reclaim 44,000 or even better, 45 to 46,000, I'm afraid we have to be ready for a move downside and at least retesting 40,000 and maybe even lower. Like I said a week ago, not trusting any more of those moves up. And as shared here by Crypto Rover, Apple will pump Bitcoin price to $100,000 in 2022. And breaking news just in, UST stablecoin buys an additional 4,000 Bitcoin worth $175 million. Luna, let's go. Also in today's show, Shark Tank superstar Kevin O'Leary says Bitcoin mining will save the world and explains how at the Bitcoin 2022 Miami conference. Quoting him here, hydroelectricity and nuclear power, wind and solar, the drive to produce Bitcoin is so economic in value that it will go ahead and fund the next generation of machines and turbines. And he also says this is the future of Bitcoin mining. We'll be developing power for all communities while we mine coins in an ethical and 100% green mandate. Also in today's show, Bitcoin and Ethereum will explode 100% by mid-2023, says Galaxy Digital Trading co-head Jason Urban. That's right. Quoting him right here, if you would have asked me at the start of the year, I would have said I see Bitcoin at 100,000 and Ether in the $65,000 to $7,000 range. Do I think that there are headwinds to that? Potentially. Do I think that's going to matter? No. Also in today's show, billionaire Thiel says Bitcoin can rise 100x and unveils Bitcoin's enemy list with Warren Buffett at the top. That's right, billionaire PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel shared his list of enemies stopping Bitcoin from rising 100x on Thursday while speaking at the Bitcoin 2022 conference in Miami. Quoting him here, we're going to try to expose them and realize that this is sort of what we have to fight for Bitcoin to go up 10x, 100x. From here, I'll be breaking this down for you. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, Bitcoin and ETH finally back in the green and pumping while many of the alts are correcting and in the red. But where's the Bitcoin price likely to go next? Find out all this, plus so much more, in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day. The goal is to get to 100,000 subs along with a $100,000 Bitcoin price. If you like getting that crypto, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And today's episode is brought to you by BlockFi, the #1 leading provider of financial products and services for crypto investors. And right now you can get up to $250 in Bitcoin when you buy crypto or fund your account today with BlockFi. Be sure to use my referral link in the description right down below. Right now there are more than 500,000 people and 350 institutions globally using BlockFi to manage over $10 billion in assets. And here are some of their flagship products, which includes their trading platform where you can buy, sell, and trade the top cryptocurrencies. You can do instant trades with ACH. You can trade 24/7, 365. Another flagship product I love is their BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards Visa credit card, where you can earn an unlimited 1.5% back in Bitcoin on everything you buy. There are no annual fees, no foreign transaction fees, and you can see if you're approved with no impact to your credit score. Also like to point out, for your first 90 days, you're actually going to earn 3.5% Bitcoin back on all your purchases, truly making this a no-brainer. So go ahead and click my referral link in the description right down below to get up to $250 in Bitcoin, and let's start stacking those sats. Shall we? All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV. Actually just returned from the Bitcoin Miami 2022 conference. How many of you were actually there? Let me know in the comments below. Now, after falling to its January 2021 all-time high of around $42,000, Bitcoin has maintained that level following a relatively still trading day. The altcoins are also untypically calm today, with Monero being among the few exceptions and XMR tapping a 3-month high. It's safe to say that the primary crypto has seen better days as it attempted to jump above 47,000 just earlier this week. However, it failed on both occasions when the bears returned to the scene and pushed the asset south. And as reported over the week, Bitcoin first dropped to $45,000 before another nosedive took it down to $43,000 after bouncing off and adding $1,000. Bitcoin started plummeting again yesterday and fell to a 17-day low of just over $42,000. And since then, Bitcoin has regained some traction and neared $43,000 just a few hours ago, but it has failed to breach that line yet and now stands a few few $100 lower. Nevertheless, its market cap remains just above the coveted $800 billion level. Now let's discuss Monero, XMR. The altcoin suffered just as badly as Bitcoin yesterday, but most have calmed today with minor gains. Ethereum dropped by 300 in days to 3,200, but has remained above the line following a slight increase. Binance Coin, Ripple, Solana, Terra, Cardano, and Polkadot are also slightly in the green. Dogecoin and Shiba, the two largest meme coins by market cap, have jumped by more than 3% on the day, while Cardano and Near Protocol are the only two larger cap alts with minor declines. Monero has stolen the show from the mid-cap altcoins with an increase of 8%, and as a result, Monero jumped to its highest price since early January at $240. Now, the overall crypto market cap is down by $200 billion in less than a week and is still below the $2 trillion level, which we slightly breached not too long ago. And as BTC Fuel shares here, Bitcoin 2 weekly is very bullish and also shares Bitcoin 2012 versus 2020. We're looking at this Bitcoin comparison. It shows us that 2012 and 2022 are still moving very similarly. We're looking at the RSI. Bitcoin 2022 moved up too fast and came down again to retest the RSI moving average. A significant move up is expected in the next few weeks. Let's go. And as Glassnode Analytics shares here, Bitcoin is trading at a liquid range of 42 to 45,000. Low volume over the weekend can cause abrupt price swings. Bitcoin risk signal at a high level threshold. And as Crypto Edge shares, Bitcoin, as long as it doesn't reclaim 44,000 or even better 45 to 46,000, I am afraid we have to be ready for more downside and at least retesting 40,000 and maybe even lower. Like I said a week ago, not trusting any more of those moves up. Chart for coming week. I hope I am wrong. And as shared here by Crypto Rover, a nice prediction, Apple will pump the Bitcoin price to $100,000 in 2022. And this just in, breaking news, UST stablecoin buys an additional 4,000 Bitcoin worth $175 million. Talk about buying that dip. Massive shout out to the Luna/Terra Foundation. Now, before I break down next story of the day, Shark Tank superstar Kevin O'Leary says Bitcoin mining will save the world and explains how. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, Bitcoin and Ether back in the green, with Bitcoin up 0.25% for the day, trading at 42,600, while Ether is up almost 0.5%, trading at $3,243, while Solana, Polkadot, Luna, Avalanche, Binance Coin, Cardano all correcting and in the red. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary, who was at the Bitcoin 2022 conference, by the way, says Bitcoin mining is good for Earth, despite conventional wisdom that it damages the environment. That, my friend, is a fact. Now, speaking at the Bitcoin 2022 conference in Miami, he says that future generations of Bitcoin miners will save the world because they'll use eco-friendly energy sources to mine the top crypto asset by market cap. Quoting Kevin O'Leary here, Bitcoin mining is going to save the world. Why is Bitcoin mining good for the Earth? Because the next generation of Bitcoin miners, and some are represented right here, are starting to work with energy that does not require carbon. Hydroelectricity and nuclear power, wind and solar. The drive to produce Bitcoin is so economic in value that they'll go ahead and fund the next generation of machines and turbines. This is the future of Bitcoin mining. We'll be developing power for all communities while we mine coins in an ethical and 100% green mandate. And he also notes that many parts of the United States and the world are rife with unused excess hydroelectricity, which could be used to mine the leading digital asset. Quoting him again here, this speaks to Montana, it speaks to Tennessee Valley, upstate New York, Quebec, Canada, northern Norway. All of these places, Georgia, have an abundance of unused hydro, and that is the future of Bitcoin mining. And it's a good thing. It provides for communities. It provides extra power. So shout out to Kevin O'Leary. Let me know if you had a chance to watch him speak at the conference. And just in case you missed it, you can catch it on YouTube, and I'll include the link in the show notes below the video in the description. I want to give a quick shout out to iTrustCapital, the world's largest crypto IRA platform with over $3.5 billion in transactions. If you're looking to trade crypto tax-free, look no further than iTrust. And yes, they are backed by the world's leading institutional cold storage provider, Coinbase Custody, with a $320 million insurance policy. So go ahead and use my referral link in the description right down below to take advantage of the #1 crypto IRA provider in America. And if you sign up today, you're going to receive a $100 funding reward as a free bonus. So go ahead and use my referral link in the description right down below, and let's start stacking those sats tax-free. And before I break down next story of the day, Bitcoin and Ethereum will explode 100% by mid-2023, says Galaxy Digital Trading co-head Jason Urban. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting just under that $2 trillion milestone with about $55 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, with the Bitcoin dominance at 41% even and the Ether dominance at 19.8%. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers in the past 24 hours, we have Moonbeam leading the pack up 9.4%, trading at $4.22, followed by Thorchain up 4%, trading at $9.20, followed by Dogecoin up 3.6%, trading just under 15 cents. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers for the week, you can see a sea of red while only a handful are in the green and actually up in the past 7 days. And checking out one of my favorite indicators is the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Shows we're currently rated a 34 out of 100 in fear. Yesterday was a 30, last week a 48 neutral, and last month a 22 in extreme fear. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That can be a great buying opportunity like we're witnessing right now. BTFD, by that freaking dip, just like the Luna/Terra Foundation and MicroStrategy have been doing. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. But all right, now let's break down the next story of the day. A top executive at Galaxy Digital says that Bitcoin and Ethereum could double up by mid next year. Let's freaking go. In a new interview with Kitco News, Galaxy Digital's trading division co-head Jason Urban says Bitcoin and Ethereum reaching new heights is inevitable, and that the top two digital assets by market cap could go up literally 100% each by quarter two 2023. Quoting him here, if you would have asked me at the start of the year, I would have said I see Bitcoin at 100,000 and Ether in the $65,000 to $7,000 range. Do I think that there are headwinds to that? Potentially. Do I think that's going to matter? No. So if it's not the end of the year, it could be quarter one of next year or quarter two. It is going to happen. The sheer number of people that are stepping into the space, I feel is going to continue to, push that. And the fact that there is such utility. Now, Urban also notes that while he believes Ethereum could one day flip Bitcoin, he doesn't think it'll happen anytime soon. And in response to the question about whether or not ETH could flip Bitcoin by host Michael McCory, Urban responded, I think at some point, yes, but is it imminent? No. Do I think it's something we're going to see in the next 2 or 3 years? That's probably the soonest, and I could be wrong on that. I don't think it's anytime soon. Urban then says that institutional interest in Ethereum is rising as more people realize the benefits of smart contracts. As he shares here, they start to understand the power of smart contracts and layer ones that so many brilliant minds can build on, and Ethereum is that's the copper. Bitcoin is the digital gold and Ethereum's digital copper. So there you have it. And to watch this interview with Jason Urban with his predictions, check the show notes below the video in the description and let me know if you agree or disagree with this dude. Now, before I break down our final story of the day, billionaire Peter Thiel says Bitcoin can rise 100x and unveils Bitcoin's enemy list with Warren Buffett at the top. But first, I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for detailed analysis of what's going on in the crypto market. This goes for all 1,100 plus videos right here on my YouTube channel. Also, some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including my crypto merch store live at merch.cryptonewsalerts.net. Also, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And of course, you can find me on all the major podcasting platforms, from Spotify to Apple's iTunes to Google Play. And if you're listening to the pod, be sure to check out the YouTube channel at cryptonewsalerts.net for the full premium experience with video. And of course, you can follow me on crypto Twitter, Facebook, Telegram, and TikTok. So wherever you're at, be sure to plug in and follow me there. But all right, now let's break down our final story of the day. Billionaire PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel, who I had the pleasure to watch at the Bitcoin 2022 Miami conference, shared his list of enemies stopping the king crypto from rising 100x. Now, the enemies list is a list of people who I think are stopping Bitcoin, he said. There are a lot of them. They tend to have nameless, faceless, bureaucratic perspectives, which of course is one of the ways that they hide, he continued. We're going to try to expose them and realize that this is sort of what we have to fight for Bitcoin to go up 10x, 100x from here. And running the math at today's price of around $42,000, if we were to 10x from here, we're talking about a $420,000 Bitcoin price. So happy 420. And if we were to 100x from here, we're talking about a $4.2 million Bitcoin price per coin. And he also says the central banks are going bankrupt. We're at the end of the fiat money regime. And the first person on the list is Berkshire Hathaway CEO Warren Buffett. They'll put up a picture of Buffett with two of his most famous quotes about Bitcoin: rat poison. And I I don't own any, and I never will. And he opined, I think the sociopathic grandpa of Omaha is perhaps the most honest and most direct in it. Thiel further noted that Buffett has a bias that makes him long on the fiat money system, and money managers who follow Berkshire Hathaway's executive advice will pretend it's complicated to invest in Bitcoin. Now, the next person on the list of Bitcoin's enemies is JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon. Thiel put Dimon's picture up with a quote, I don't call them cryptocurrencies, I call them crypto tokens because currencies have rules of law behind them, central banks, and tax with authorities. Now, the next picture he put up was of BlackRock CEO Larry Fink with his quote, I see huge opportunities in a digitized crypto blockchain related currency, and that's where I think it's going. The PayPal co-founder added that Larry Fink's quote is somewhat representative of a whole genre of Bitcoin attacks that need further context, stating that pro-blockchain is an anti-Bitcoin term. Very typically, Thiel then brought up environmental, social, and governance standards, elaborating the label they've come up with, and perhaps the real enemy is ESG. I think that ESG is just a hate factory, he stressed. You can always ask the question, what's the difference between ESG and CCP, the Chinese Communist Party? When you think ESG, you should be thinking CCP. As he shares here, it is the finance gerontocracy that runs the country through whatever silly virtue signaling / hate factory to them, like ESG they have, the billionaire concluded. This is what I would call what we have to think as of a revolutionary youth movement. And we have to just go out from this conference and take over the world. So much respect for Peter Thiel for calling a spade and pointing out Bitcoin's biggest enemies. And let me know if you agree with his 10x and 100x Bitcoin price predictions. Once again, that's $420,000 and a $4.2 million Bitcoin price per coin. And now for a quick recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. I shared that Bitcoin maintains $42,000 as Monero hits a 3-month high after spiking by 8%, as well as Kevin O'Leary says Bitcoin mining will save the world and explains how. And we also discussed Bitcoin and Ethereum will explode by 100% by mid-2023, says Galaxy Digital Trading co-head Jason Urban, as well as billionaire Peter Thiel says Bitcoin can rise 100x and unveils Bitcoin's enemy list with Warren Buffett at the top. Talk about a kill shot, but where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below. Now for the top 3 comments from the previous episode. eCoin wrote, Aloha JV, technical difficulties, but crypto news alerts, not even tripping, still flowing, delivering. Hats off to you, JV, putting in the time so all of us can be informed. Solid. Cheers, fam. Thanks for your continued support. Hodl. And our next featured comment comes from Steve Hubbs, who wrote, $1 million by 2030 is a safe bet, according to the middle Bitcoin log growth curve. It is indicating 1 million by mid-2027. I think whales planned this correction to correspond with the timing of the Bitcoin conference, similar to what they did last year. They want to scare retail noobs to sell and give them their Bitcoin. Spot on, fam. $1 million Bitcoin price. Let's freaking go. And our third and final featured comment comes from R. James, who wrote, Malaysia, Tonga, El Salvador, USA, Portugal, Russia, Britain, Club Canada, the crypto space race is taking place. You already know, fam, Bitcoin to the moon. Send it. And to be featured on tomorrow's episode, drop me a comment right down below.